66 million years ago, the Earth was paradise. Dinosaurs had ruled this planet for 165 million years. Humans have existed for 300,000 years. Dinosaurs were here 500 times longer than us, and then, in a single day, it was over. This is what actually happened. It started in space. A rock roughly the size of Mount Everest had been drifting through the solar system for billions of years. It wasn't heading for Earth on purpose. There was no reason, no warning, no cosmic significance. It just happened to be on a collision course with our planet. And on one ordinary morning, 66 million years ago, that changed everything. The asteroid entered Earth's atmosphere traveling at 40,000 miles per hour. That's 20 times faster than a bullet. It took less than a second to cross the entire atmosphere. Before it even hit the ground, the friction superheated the rock to temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. A blinding flash of light lit up the entire hemisphere. Any dinosaur within 1,000 miles who looked up was instantly blinded. Then it hit. The asteroid slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. It hit shallow ocean water, which made everything worse. The impact released energy equivalent to 10 billion nuclear bombs detonating simultaneously. Let that sink in. 10 billion nuclear bombs at once. The ground didn't just shake, it liquefied. Rock that had been solid for millions of years turned instantly into liquid and then into vapor. A crater 125 miles wide and 20 miles deep was carved into the Earth in seconds. The shockwave traveled through the ground faster than sound. Thousands of miles away, dinosaurs were thrown off their feet before they heard anything. Then came the sound. The loudest noise in the history of life on Earth. Louder than any volcano. Louder than any earthquake. A sound so powerful it ruptured the internal organs of animals thousands of miles away. Within the first minute, everything within 600 miles of the impact was dead. Not dying, dead, instantly vaporized by heat that reached tens of thousands of degrees. But the dinosaurs farther away thought they had survived. They hadn't. The impact launched billions of tons of rock and debris into space. Not into the atmosphere, into space. And then gravity pulled it all back down, across the entire planet. For the next hour, the sky rained fire. Billions of superheated rock fragments re-entered the atmosphere simultaneously. The friction heated the upper atmosphere to over 1,000 degrees. It was like being inside a broiler oven, globally. Forests ignited spontaneously, not from flames spreading, just from the heat in the air. Any dinosaur, not underground or underwater in that first hour, was cooked alive. The entire surface of the Earth was on fire. At the same time, the impact triggered the largest tsunami in Earth's history. Waves over a mile high crashed across continents. Inland seas were created in minutes. Coastlines that had existed for millions of years were erased in hours. But even all of this wasn't what actually killed the dinosaurs. This was just day one. The real killer was what came after. The impact threw so much dust, ash, and debris into the atmosphere that it blocked out the sun. Not for a day, not for a week, for years. Scientists call it an impact winter. Within weeks, global temperatures dropped by 20 to 30 degrees. Plants couldn't photosynthesize without sunlight. They died within months. The herbivores that ate the plants starved. Then the carnivores that ate the herbivores starved. The entire food chain collapsed from the bottom up. And it happened fast. Within a year, 75% of all species on Earth were gone. Not just dinosaurs, 75% of everything. Marine reptiles, flying reptiles, ancient birds, entire ecosystems, gone. The oceans acidified from the impact chemicals. Coral reefs dissolved. The sky turned orange from sulfur released by the vaporized rock. For months, the Earth looked like another planet entirely. But here's the part nobody talks about. Some things survived. Small burrowing mammals who could hide underground. Creatures that could eat insects and seeds preserved in the soil. Crocodilians who could go months without food. Certain birds descended from small feathered dinosaurs, and in the darkness and the cold, these survivors did something extraordinary. They held on for years in a world with no sun, no plants, and no large animals left. They survived on the dead, eating the bodies of billions of creatures that had died around them. It sounds horrifying, but it's the reason you exist. Because those small, desperate mammals that survived the darkness, they were your ancestors. Over the next 66 million years, with the dinosaurs gone, mammals exploded. They filled every ecological niche the dinosaurs had left behind. They grew larger, they diversified, they spread across every continent. And 300,000 years ago, one branch of those mammals stood upright, looked at the sky, and started asking questions. Us. Here's what really gets me about this story. If the asteroid had arrived just 30 seconds earlier or later in Earth's rotation, it would have hit deep ocean. A deep ocean impact would have been survivable for most life on land. The dinosaurs would have lived. Mammals would have stayed small. There would be no humans. 30 seconds. The entire history of human civilization, every person who ever lived, every war ever fought, every song ever written. It all exists because a rock hit shallow water instead of deep water. By 30 seconds. The last non-avian dinosaur died somewhere between 66 and 65 million years ago. We don't know exactly where, we don't know exactly when. But somewhere, on some cold, dark day, the last one stopped breathing. A creature whose ancestors had walked this earth for 165 million years. Gone. And in the darkness, something small and warm and frightened was still alive, hiding, waiting, hungry. It had no idea the world now belonged to it. It had no idea its descendants would one day build cities, write music, and look up at the stars. It just survived. One more day. That's all evolution ever asks. Just survive one more day. And 66 million years later, here you are, watching a video about the worst day in Earth's history, on a planet that recovered, in a civilization built by the descendants of something that hid in the dark and refused to die. The asteroid didn't just kill the dinosaurs, it made room for us. And the most terrifying part? There are thousands of asteroids out there right now, still drifting, still on their own paths through the solar system, and most of them we haven't even found yet. If you made it this far, you clearly love this kind of content. Hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video like this.